You did a really, really good job. And that's something that we're going to have to continue to utilize, right? We did a great job. 11 offensive rebounds. We outscored them on second chance points. 21 assists on 33 made field goals. Yo, shot distribution was really good. Just overall, like, strong team effort. We've talked about it all year. We're resilient and we're deep. And both of those things allow us to do some things that other people might not think we can, right? We are bigger, we are greater than the me. Yep, no doubt about it.
What happens when your superstar disappears from the floor and everyone expects your team to crumble, yet instead, you deliver one of the most dominant performances of the entire season? That's exactly what the Indiana Fever just did, proving that this squad is more than just Caitlin Clark. In a jaw-dropping 92-70 dismantling of the Chicago Sky, the Fever didn't just survive without their headline name. They embarrassed their rivals, broke 6 records in the process, and sent a message that the rest of the league won't soon forget.
Folks, yet again, the Indiana Fever faced the Chicago Sky, and yet again, we whoop that. Oh boy. 92-70, it was a whole party.
From the opening tip, it wasn't just about scoring points, it was about tone, control, and psychological warfare. Every possession told the same story. Indiana looked like a team with purpose, while Chicago looked like a group that had no answers. The narrative was supposed to be simple. Take away Clark, and the Fever would be exposed. But instead, fans witnessed a complete role reversal. Indiana played like a team built for war, and Chicago looked like they didn't even pack their armor.
Chicago could really use a bucket here just to maintain stride for stride with Indiana here. Cardoso, they go inside. She's been the most sure option. This time blocked by Boston.
The rivalry between these two teams has always been heated, but this particular game felt different. The Sky weren't just defeated on the scoreboard. They were dismantled at every level, inside, outside, and mentally. And while the box score shows a 22-point gap, the energy in the building, the way Chicago's body language collapsed, made it feel like even more. But the real shock wasn't just the win. It was who stepped up in Clark's absence to make it possible.
Aaliyah Boston, she remembers the days at South Carolina. The practices at South Carolina, beating up on good old Camila Cardoso. She sees Camila Cardoso and she says, oh, this is food. This is a player, this is a matchup I can continue to be aggressive on. This is a player that no matter how good Camila may be or may not be, I will always be able to own her. And own her she did. Own her she did.
The Fever's 92-70 victory was more than just a number. It was the type of performance that makes people stop scrolling and start paying attention. Indiana didn't just win. They suffocated Chicago's offense, controlled the glass, and out-hustled them in every department. And all of it came without their biggest star on the floor. To break 6 records in one night while shorthanded? That's not an accident. That's a warning to the rest of the WNBA.
AB moved up to 3rd all-time in Fever for franchise blocks.
But here's where you, the viewer, come in. We're building a channel that digs deep into these kinds of stories, the ones that go beyond the headline box score, the ones that show you how and why games shift the way they do. And right now, our subscriber count doesn't match the quality of the content we're putting out. If you're enjoying this breakdown, if you want to keep following the Fever's rise and every WNBA rivalry twist, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment with your thoughts on this game. Not only does it help us grow, but it ensures you never miss when the next big rivalry explodes.
Not afraid to start the break. 2-on-4. The math doesn't work out. Cunningham thought about it. Kicks it up top. Boston. Handing off to Mitchell. Mitchell, plenty of space. This time back to Boston. Boston. Whoa, moving furniture and getting the lay-in.
And trust me, this rivalry is far from finished. The Sky came into this matchup believing Indiana would fold without Clark. Instead, they left humiliated, looking completely outclassed in every category. But one player in particular made sure Chicago felt the pain right from the opening quarter, and her name is Aaliyah Boston.
Coming off the screen, trying to create some separation. Dumps it up to Boston. It trickles in.
Imagine going up for a layup only to feel like you've hit a brick wall that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. That's what every Chicago player faced when Aaliyah Boston patrolled the paint. She wasn't just protecting the rim, she was owning it, With her third season dominance, Boston officially moved into third all-time in Fever history for career blocks, racking up 132 swats in just 112 games. That's not luck. That's consistency, discipline, and sheer power in the paint.
Lex, 100th career steal.
Yeah!
And team high in points.
Yeah!
What made this performance even more brutal for Chicago is that Boston has history with Camila Cardoso. Back in their South Carolina days, they went at each other in practice. So when Boston saw Cardoso in this matchup, she didn't hesitate. She attacked it like she was back in college, proving yet again that no matter how skilled Cardoso is, she remains a matchup Boston can dominate. That personal edge turned every possession into a statement, and Boston owned her, possession after possession.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Hull open three. Oh, what a sight for Alexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Alexi Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for two more.
By the second half, Chicago's guards wanted nothing to do with the rim. They were settling for awkward floaters and contested mid-range jumpers, clearly shaken by the presence of Boston inside. And when a defensive anchor forces an entire offense to change how it even attempts to score, that's not just a good game, that's game-changing impact. Boston's timing, patience, and control flipped momentum from the very first quarter, and Chicago never recovered. But Boston wasn't the only one who had a milestone night.
Again, no Sydney Colson out for the year with the ACL tear. Lexi Hull, though, the bucket and the foul. He's dealt with so much scoring adversity lately.
Yeah, terrific baseline execution. She comes off the curl. Tell you what, this Fever team is going to be very dangerous, no matter the roster.
Oh, Lexi Hull! Heat checking her napalm era right now.
While Boston dominated the paint, Lexi Hull turned the perimeter into her personal playground. On this very night, she reached her 100th career steal and poured in a season-high 17 points on 5 of 9 shooting, including a scorching 4 of 6 from deep. This wasn't a case of someone just filling minutes. This was a player stepping into the spotlight when her team needed it most, showing growth as a two-way threat who can shift momentum on both ends of the floor.
Lexi, that final three-pointer kind of felt like the perfect end of that night. Just if you could just talk to me about the celebration, how much of a relief that was for you, just kind of to punctuate it like that.
I mean, it's fun. You know, the crowd was behind us today. It's fun to walk out of the gym on a high note and on a make. And yeah, I mean, I saw the time going down, so I was trying to pull out my inner Kelsey Mitchell.
Hull's impact wasn't just statistical, it was emotional. Every three-pointer she drilled felt like a dagger into Chicago's confidence. Early in the second half, she buried one from the corner over an outstretched defender that had the crowd roaring. By the fourth quarter, she was pulling up from way beyond the arc and draining shots that told the sky, this is over. Add her defensive instincts, reading passing lanes, anticipating plays, flipping possessions, and you get the complete picture of why her 100th steal was more than a number. It was a symbol of her evolution into a true game changer.
Kelsey Money Mitch, she brought the shovels out early. Money Mitch digging a ditch.
This was also about resilience. With Caitlin Clark sidelined and both Aari McDonald and Sydney Colson out for the season, Hull's role got heavier. Instead of cracking under the weight, she thrived. Her confidence bled into her teammates, the bench erupted after every shot, and Chicago couldn't find an answer. Hull's night didn't just help Indiana win. It turned the game into a humiliation, one that Chicago will remember long after the buzzer. And while Hull was raining fire from outside, another Fever star was busy running the entire offense.
And we got a couple for Kels. Kels, season high in assists. Moved into the lead in the entire WNBA for total points.
Shout out to the girls. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Kelsey Mitchell is known for her scoring, but against Chicago, she became something even scarier, a dual threat. She dropped 26 points while also dishing out a season-high 8 assists, becoming the leading scorer in the entire WNBA this season. That's not just production, that's leadership.
We're settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
What stood out was her balance. She didn't just hunt her own shots. She created them for others. Early on, she drove hard into the lane, drew 2 defenders, and kicked the ball to Hull for a wide-open 3. Later, she ran a slick pick-and-roll with Boston, threading the perfect pass for an easy layup. These weren't routine assists. They were momentum shifters that kept Chicago scrambling, forcing them to guard multiple threats instead of just one.
AK, career high in rebounds.
And when it was time to score, Mitchell turned ruthless. Step-back jumpers, floaters in traffic, pull-ups in transition. She had the full bag on display. Chicago couldn't contain her, and by the second half, they looked exhausted trying to chase her around. It wasn't just the points or the assists. It was the way she kept the offense flowing, unpredictable and relentless. Mitchell showed that Indiana has more than one superstar. She proved she can run the show when needed, and that's a terrifying thought for opponents who thought stopping Clark was enough. But even role players joined the party, reminding everyone that this Fever team has depth most rivals can't match.
Coming off the screen, trying to create some separation. 2 dumps it up to Boston. It trickles in.
Sometimes the most important contributions come from the players who barely crack double digits in minutes. That was Michaela Timpson against the Sky. In just 7 minutes of action, she pulled down a career high in rebounds, each one a gut punch to Chicago's already fragile rhythm. They weren't empty boards either. They were contested, hard-fought rebounds in traffic that either sparked transition opportunities or killed second-chance hopes for the Sky.
Cunningham thought about it. This time puts it on the deck. A deflection. Bodies flying to the floor. Mitchell controls. 8 to shoot. Mitchell, hesitation in the paint. The floater off the window.
And here is Kelsey Mitchell getting downhill. Little sidestep into the floater.
Pivoting. Pirouetting. Tough shot. Well defended. Mitchell trying to attack Allen. Step back tray. Mitchell buries it.
What makes this remarkable is the efficiency. Every time Timpson checked in, she made her presence felt instantly. Grab a rebound, seal off her opponent, push the pace, repeat. Her hustle allowed the Fever's starters to catch their breath without losing control of the game. For a Sky team already showing visible frustration, those second-chance denials were like turning the knife deeper. It wasn't flashy, but it was exactly what Indiana needed.
We won every quarter. This was a steady beatdown from start to finish. Every quarter, we build the lead, we add more, we add more, we add more, and the next thing you know, you look up and the Indiana Fever have a lead of 25 points. Chicago Sky suck. We need to beat the teams we're supposed to beat. And the Chicago Sky are one of those teams.
Timpson's performance is a reminder of what makes this Fever roster dangerous: depth. It's not just about one superstar or even 2. It's about every player knowing their role and stepping up when the opportunity comes. Combine her hustle with Boston's dominance, Hull's shooting, and Mitchell's leadership, and you get a team that didn't just beat Chicago, they dismantled them piece by piece. And when you zoom out to the bigger picture, this game carries a message the entire league should be worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, like, they're resilient, they're connected, they pull for each other, they enjoy one another, they celebrate one another, and, that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And, for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are, I mean, I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And, I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
For weeks, critics claimed Indiana was a one-woman show, built around Caitlin Clark's stardom, destined to collapse the moment she wasn't on the court. The Fever just destroyed that narrative. They didn't just beat Chicago, they swept them 4 times in one season and now hold a 7-1 record against them across the last 2 years. Rivalry? At this point, it looks more like dominance.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the offseason of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.
What this proves is resilience. The Fever are connected, unselfish, and resilient in ways most teams can't replicate. Their chemistry was on full display. Players pulling for each other, celebrating every milestone, and sharing the ball like it was second nature. That energy alone is worth 10 to 12 points a night. And when Clark returns, all of it only gets stronger. The reality for Chicago is brutal. They just got outclassed by a Fever team missing its biggest star. And for the rest of the league, it's a preview. Boston's wall in the paint, Hull's perimeter shooting, Mitchell's dual-threat brilliance, Timpson's relentless energy. This is the foundation Clark will return to. That means Indiana isn't just playoff-bound. They're playoff dangerous. The 92-70 blowout wasn't a fluke, and it wasn't just about one night of hot shooting. It was about proving depth, proving resilience, and proving that this team can dominate without leaning on just one name. Boston climbed into franchise history. Hull lit up the scoreboard while hitting her 100th steal. Mitchell became the WNBA's leading scorer, and Timpson showed how even limited minutes can tilt the floor. That's not luck. That's structure, preparation, and talent across the board. Now, imagine adding Caitlin Clark back into this mix. Her return doesn't just boost scoring, it multiplies the effectiveness of everything we just saw. Boston gets more space in the paint. Hull gets cleaner looks from outside. Mitchell gets to attack without always carrying the playmaking load. And Timpson's hustle becomes even more punishing when paired with Indiana's full arsenal. This game wasn't the peak. It was the preview of what's coming. If you're watching this and you want to see how far Indiana can go, now is the time to stick with us. We're covering every twist, every rivalry, and every statement game just like this one. So hit subscribe, smash the like button, and drop a comment down below with your take. Was this the game that proved Indiana is more than just Clark? Your support helps us grow, and it keeps you connected to every storyline as it unfolds. Because if this game taught us anything, it's that the Fever are heating up, and the league better be ready for the fire.